Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Cup of Joe with Joe and Joe podcast. I'm your host, Joe, and with me, as always, is my wonderful co-host, Joe.
My girl Rukia is back in action, baby.
Someone at Studio Piero must absolutely love Rukia. And honestly, I am very happy that they feel that way because, good God, Joe, I think this might be my favorite episode of the entire 1,000-Year Blood War season yet.
It's so good.
It is phenomenal. Like, okay, last episode, Renji's episode, we get Rukia and Renji back, and they split up real quick. And so we see Renji, he pulls out his new Bankai, he's got a furry hand, he's got a sword hand, he's got two different kinds of hands now, it's cool, it's great, love that sort of shit. However, this episode has the music, this episode has the design of both characters, environments, transformations, all that sort of crap, and this episode has character, not like design, but writing and interaction. Two siblings. Not that kind of interaction. Get your head out of the fucking gutter, Joe.
I knew that we were getting the Bankai. That's all I knew. I was like, okay, we have to be so prepped to talk about this. And I've been dying to talk about this with you because there's just so much and so much good things to talk about. Just to start it off, we get to see our boy Ichigo in the new fit.
Dude, this was one of the things that I was curious about. Renji comes back, Rukia comes back, a little bit later we see Byakuya comes back, all of them, new threads, and they look sick as hell. And they're bundled up too, and you're like, wow, what, is it cold there? I mean, everything looks like it's covered in ice. We see Ichigo in the beginning, he's also got the new threads as well. It's one of those promo images that we've seen with him with the green scarf and hat and all that sort of crap. And there's an actual reason for it. And it never crossed my mind that there would be a legitimate reason for them having the new threads. I would have thought Kubo was just yeah, new powers for everyone, they get some costume changes, all that sort of stuff. But the legitimate reason is the fact that they have to travel from the Squad Zero barracks back down to the Serite, so they have to bundle up because it's going to be cold, apparently. I love Ichigo, our overpowered boy. They're just yeah, if you use Flash Step, you should get there in about a week. And so he looks down and he's like, so if I hurry, it should only take me about half a day. And then everyone there just kind of does a little side-eye. They're like, is that real? Does he actually mean that? And I was like, yeah, no, he means that. And they're like, oh yeah, all right. Anyway, so the battle started about 3 hours ago, and he's like, what? So he yeets himself down. I like his the change in demeanor that he kind of has, because for the longest time, Ichigo has kind of been just very stern, very serious. And to be fair, the beginning of this 1,000-Year Blood War arc necessitates something like that. However, it seems like he might have come into a little bit of power since we haven't seen him in the last couple of episodes. Something to reinforce that is also when he calls Urahara, and he's just like, hey, what's going on down there? And Urahara is just like, we're holding our own, we're losing some people, hopefully you're coming back soon, you can help out. And Ichigo is just like, all right, not to sound like a total dick or anything, but just hold out till I get there, I'll take care of the rest. Pretty cocky, Ichigo. You better have some power to back that shit up, you know what I mean?
And then you hear, whoever did sound design for this whole episode, every award possible, go to them, because the sonic boom that Ichigo has when he just starts flying, I don't watch these episodes normally with headphones. I watched this episode with headphones only because other people were in the room, and I was like, okay, let me be courteous. Watch this episode with headphones. It is a godsend. It is amazing.
Yeah, I was going to say, there's another thing that's going to happen in a second. I literally have a note on it, wear headphones for this moment in specific, because it is that cool. But we'll get to that in just a second, because we cut away from Ichigo, and now we're following Rukia. She stopped on a building, and you get this real creepy hand animated coming up, grazing hers, and she immediately retracts, and she's like, oh my god, what was that? And there's nothing there. And then, again, have your headphones on for this part, because we hear Asnot start talking to her, but he's whispering. You get the shot of the side of her head, so it's just the one ear, and I realized on the second rewatch, I was like, holy Christ, it's whispering in my left ear too. That is creepy as all hell and wonderful. I fucking love it, Joe. Sound directors, sound engineers, whoever they are, mwah, mwah, chef kisses left and right. So good. I fucking love it.
Yeah, I feel like I remember you saying in the first core that, as not, you're like, okay, this person's interesting, not that cool, the whole fear thing. I'm hoping this episode But the development kind of brought that character up a little bit for you.
Yes. So this entire episode is just Rukia facing off against Asnot. And it is wonderful. When he actually starts fighting Rukia, and they're doing, like the 1-2 back and forth, Rukia is revealing, like, okay, I can use my Shikai now, and it's, like, super, super duper cold. I can reach absolute zero, which is kind of insane. I don't know if you understand the implications of what that means, but okay, you do you, Rukia, that's fine, whatever. Asnot, though, we've seen the Von Stoldiks from all these other characters. We've had Bambietta's one, we've had Masked Man's one, and they look cool and all. But the transformation sequence into getting them is nothing special. It's just like a big bright light, and then bada bing, bada boom, they break out of it like it's a tube of glass, and then they have their cape or their wings and their halo and all that sort of crap. Asnod's transformation goes so fucking hard. I don't understand why, but I'm so happy they did that. Like, it's utterly grotesque and immaculately detailed. Watching him as he's breaking out of the ice encapsulation that's Rukia has like done to him with her Shikai, the mask breaks off and you just see like the flesh tearing away. And I don't know if he just didn't have flesh under there to begin with, or it's peeling off because of how cold his entire body is. Either way, wonderful detail. When his body splits up the side and you see guts starting to like balloon out before then like resealing with stitches starting to form all the way up through his neck. Oh my god, the way the halo forms on his head when he bows down, it pings into being, it shrinks down, and then it balloons right back into the actual halo effect. Like you had like a bounce effect of the light, like it was a supernova or something exploding on top of his head. Oh my god, it's just so well done. And I don't know, like, why him? Why Asnot as opposed to the Masked Man or Bambietta? I don't know, but it's cool.
The transformation's sick. The form is absolutely disgusting. It is horrifying. The voice actor for Asnot, horrifying. I could not imagine being in the studio when that person was reading those lines. Asnot was actually scary. While as in the first core, you're like, okay, this is kind of weird and like a little like, ooh, the whole person's gimmick is fear. But now it's like, oh no, this is fucked up. Like you get Asnot's backstory. Again, simple, to the point, nothing too crazy. It's not like a crazy full episode development.
Very
it's like
quick.
maybe a minute.
Yeah.
It's perfect. That's all you need to know. And it looks amazing. Again, the back and forth between Rukia and Asnot with like the explanations of like, my fear can seep in, and then Rukia being like, well, technically I'm dead. And then when he uses the form, the whole eyes, and be like, I use your fucking optic nerves. I was like, what the actual fuck?
His ability being able to just instill fear in you through your optic nerves, crazy. One thing with the sound design that I was kind of like, what? When he encapsulates her in that orb of eyes, every time the eyes open inside the orb, it's like a little bass boosted sound. So it was just like hundreds of little bass boosted sounds happening all at once, and I was like, this is a little funny. But what's not funny is seeing all the fear that Rukia is going through. You have the very similar thing compared to Byakuya in Core 1 when he's facing off against Asnot, and she has all the flies like erupting from the ground and crawling all over her body. You see Byakuya and Renji and Ichigo all starting to wither away and become like zombie-fied versions of themselves. And just as you start to hear Rukia scream, the orb that she is trapped in gets split in half, and we have Byakuya there to save the day. Two things ran through my head at this point, show. One thing was, okay, cool, we get to see Byakuya's back again. Very nice, we get the rematch between Asnot and Byakuya. The other thing was, god fucking damn it, they have to save Rukia again, and she's gonna be relegated to the goddamn side character. And I was pretty upset. I was like,
we have grown! Motherfucker, we have grown!
Spoiler alert, that is not what happens. I was so fucking happy when they did a little kickball change on me, and they're like, ha, you thought, bitch? We actually do care about Rukia. And I was like, yes, thank God. She's been here literally since episode 1, and she hasn't gotten to do jack shit in the anime. Please let her do something cool here. And they do. So Byakuya gets her out of the orb of fear and whatever. Asnot is like, ooh, hello. I remember you. How's your stomach doing since I ripped it out? And Byakuya just doesn't give a shit. He's like, I don't care what you're saying. I'm going to talk to Rukia for a little bit here. He has a cool little moment, Byakuya that is, where he uses his Senbone Zakura and he does a whole bunch of shit, and Asnot is just like, I missed that Bankai. And Byakuya is just like, bitch, I'm holding the handle. he's that much more powerful that he mistook it to be a Bankai instead of a Shikai. It's like, goddamn, Byakuya, that's pretty sick. But I've already seen your Bankai, Byakuya. You don't have a new one, as far as I know, because we don't actually see it in this episode. But instead of him fighting Asnot, because Asnot very much is like, all right, Rukia, you're the pawn that I need to get Byakuya here. Now I want to fuck up Byakuya. Byakuya is just like, no, Rukia, you got this one. Rukia's like, wait, what? And he's like, Rukia, I've mean to tell you something for a very long time, and this is the perfect opportunity given everything that we've all just gone through. You are strong.
That's years, Joe. Think about the first arc of Bleach and how Byakuya looks down on Rukia, going to let his own sister die. Now we have this growth, and you see Rukia, how proud she is to finally get that from her brother.
The validation is beautiful because she doesn't just sit there and go like, oh, sweet, thanks. Like, she has a moment where like the tears well up in her eyes a little bit before she turns back to actually face Asnot in the battle. And at this point, Asnot is freaking out. He's just like, what? I'm gonna kill you. I swear to God, I'm gonna kill all of you. So he's just mutating into this even more grotesque envy from Full Metal Alchemist. It's just bodies, parts strewn together all over the place in wrong places. Massive hulking beast. And again, 1,000-Year Blood War, it don't waste time. Instead of just making this one long drawn out battle, they're just like, nope, you're gonna see something even cooler than that. And Rukia calls out her Bankai. So many things we can say about this. Chief among them, when we actually see Rukia in her Bankai form, it's beautiful. Part of me thinks the style of 1,000-Year Blood War was developed almost entirely so they could draw this. It looks drop dead gorgeous.
Yeah, her Bankai is absolutely beautiful. In the manga, it was gorgeous. It did it so much justice. She looks like glass.
Yeah.
Like, it's amazing in the anime, and I can't wait to send you some of the pictures I have saved of like fan art. It is gorgeous. And she turns in to this like snow or ice princess. The impact of the Bankai is absurd. And we get a little bit of an explanation about, like, again, the Bankai can't just be OP. I mean, it can, but hers has consequences. And it's still new, and she's still learning. So I had been waiting for that moment for years, Joe, and to finally get it, I almost cried. It was gorgeous.
Yeah, it would have been great to see it if it was just something that was gorgeous. But like you said, it's not just that it's powerful and that's it. It's powerful and it has drawbacks. So that makes it intriguing because we want to see Rukia grow into it, learn how to utilize it the best that she can. I'm hoping there's going to be some interesting battles coming down the line with her using that Bankai and having to try and regulate all of its power, because as we see, she only holds it for a couple of seconds and immediately her hand is already starting to crack. And then we get this wonderful moment of Byakuya coming in, and he has the quote, which again, I don't think he says it's a beautiful Bankai in this. I think he starts by saying it's a powerful Bankai, but it's also like a dangerous Bankai, which parallels Byakuya, because his is also incredibly powerful, but he also has to maintain that safe area whenever he's inside of Senbone Zakura, because otherwise all the petals will just come in and cut him up. And so they kind of have that sort of parallel between the two of them. And the detail of him grabbing her hand and the ice immediately forming on his fingers, and he doesn't wince whatsoever. Quintessentially Byakuya, of course, he's a badass, he's not going to let that stop him, sort of a thing. But also it shows how much he truly does care for Rukia. And getting that sibling bonding moment and that catharsis, because again, beginning of the show, Byakuya is like the first really big bad that we have to try and face down. That Ichigo is always like, oh, I hate you and what you stand for, and I'm trying to save my friend here. But this is still just a beautiful bow on top of something that already looks this good. It's like, it's great. Oh, and yeah, Asnot is killed if that wasn't clear. The moment Rukia transforms into a Bankai, imagine a mushroom cloud from a nuclear explosion, except it's ice. That is what happens, and Asnot is no more. He is dust in the wind.
It all looks gorgeous, and it's nice because we don't linger on it too long. Byakuya's like, okay, take your time. We need to go.
Yeah, and he's just like, together. So good. Also, the end credits play over all this sort of stuff, so it's, you don't just get like a hard cut to credit. Joe, when I heard the credit music start playing before she turned into her Bankai, I almost threw a fit. because I thought they were going to blue ball me right then and there. I was like, no, don't do it. And then the credits start playing over top of it as everything is happening. And I'm just like, that makes everything in this episode that much more impactful. The only time they've done that so far in Thousand Year Blood War was the ending of Core 1. And that was pretty emotionally resonant. So to have it in this episode, this is just, what is this? It's like episode 7 of Core 2? Okay, I guess we're just gonna get this stupidly well-produced episode all about Rukia and her relationship with Byakuya and her new Bankai. It's like, this is fantastic, I love this!
We also get to learn a little bit about Yuhaba. Hashwald's taking Uryu back into some, secret lair or whatever. And we have Hangdu, whatever his name is, in BG9. And it was pretty cool. Like, Hashwald, I don't know if he was using, like, his ability or something, but, like, there's scales of judgment or luck along those lines, and he kills off both of those Stern Ritters, which, again, also horrifying the way they do it. It looks disgusting. I like how BG9 had oil come out instead of blood.
I was curious about that. I was like, is he really a robot or is he just a dude? And he's like, nope, it's oil, it's not blood. It's like, oh, okay.
Hashwald's trying to explain why he's doing this to Uryu, and Uryu's not getting it. And we get this moment where Hashwald's like, look, he needs to keep reabsorbing souls or this power or whatever, and then it goes mute. And you see Uryu's face kind of like the eyebrows go up, and you're like, what did he say?
What happens if he doesn't do it? We don't know. We won't know probably for a little bit. It's as intriguing. So overall, we finally got to see Ichigo. He's on the way. He's gonna fuck shit up when he finally drops down like a nuclear deterrent. Everyone's gonna die if they don't stand down. We got some more information on Yuha, which is always great, and some more intrigue going on there. And of course, we got the amazing fight between Asnod and Rukia's Bankai, and they all look so fucking cool. This is my favorite episode of the series so far. Nothing is even close to it at this point.
I had such a good time watching this. I even like the, looks like we're getting a little bit of setup for next episode with Unohana's vice captain, as well as Kenpachi's vice captain, working on, it looks like the two other visored captains that we previously saw got injured. And we get introduced to our next Stern Ritter, who is pretty creepy as well, and looks like he's invisible. So interested to see where that goes. I know nothing about that, but I like the setup. We really got a lot of everything this episode, but the sound design and Rukia's Bankai, by far, was amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Hope you guys are enjoying Thousand Year Blood War as much as we are. If you haven't seen this episode, what the fuck are you doing? Go watch this episode. It's fucking phenomenal. I don't care. Do it. Do it. I swear to God, do it. Otherwise, I won't love you, I won't leave you, and I won't say goodbye. Oh shit, what I just did.